and you want to give it a 10 out of 10, you can't do it. You don't know how to give it a 10 out of 10 because you've never practiced giving anything a 10 out of 10. All you do is give stuff a 5 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 because you've never owned the company. So the myth is this, that you can't get someone else to care about your business the same way that you would unless you're a part owner, etc., which for 95% of the time, that's true. Here's the problem with why that shouldn't be true. Because the assumption is that, like, why should I care about this business or something else unless it's mine? And I get that theory overall, but the part that I don't get is, like, if you say, well, I'm going to work at a 9 out of 10 of what I can do because I don't own the company, so I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10. I'm only going to give it a 9 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10, or most people probably do like a 5 or 6 out of 10. The problem with that is then you are practicing how to give something a 9 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10. And so then if you ever do have your own business and you want to give it a 10 out of 10, you can't do it. You don't know how to give it a 10 out of 10 because you've never practiced giving anything a 10 out of 10. All you do is give stuff a 5 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 because you've never owned the company. So then when you need to, you can't do it. That's why, whether you own the company or not, you should give a 10 out of 10 every time, because then you're practicing how to be a 10 out of 10. And when you need to do 10 out of 10, you actually can do it.